Hello, my friends. How are you? Jess here. Welcome to your weekly collective intuitive Reiki healing. This is for August 4th through the 10th. I hope you guys are doing so well. Thank you for being here. If you're back, welcome back. I'm so glad that you found previous healing supportive. And if you're new, welcome. The way that my healings work is that I pull cards for my weeklies. I pull 3 tarot cards and it sets the tone for the healing. And then I give about a 10-minute or so Reiki healing, and intuitive messages come up in the process. If you're new to Reiki, there's a full description of it down below in the description box, but know that it is an incredibly harmonious and safe and loving healing modality, will never cause harm, will never deplete your or my energy, has nothing to do with my energy at all. I'm just a conduit and a channel, but it does have to do with your willingness to be open to receiving whatever comes your way. Whatever happens is perfect. Yeah, so thank you so much for being with me. It's so powerful. It can be done from a distance, which is why I do these pre-recorded videos. It gives that extra gift of being able to come back and experience it again if you feel the call. If you feel the call, it's definitely a sign to try it out. There's probably a message you didn't receive the first time or in the highest way, or there's a new level to the healing you're ready to unlock. All right, so we're in August, guys. We are still in Mercury retrograde. How are you guys doing? This will be the last full week of it. Next weeklies will be kind of coming out of it. In the poll that I posted several days ago, I asked how everyone was doing, and it was a little across the board, but there were a lot of you that were talking about old wounds kind of coming to the surface to be released. I get that. The last week in particular, I felt that a lot. The Mercury retrograde in the beginning for me started off very productive and accepting, and it's still productive and accepting, but definitely some kind of abrupt surfacing of things that I need to see. And I think a lot of us are kind of getting those lessons that might be a little bit humbling right now, but it's in a really beautiful way. I don't know about you, but I'm incredibly grateful for it all, because this is all for it to, bring us into our most aligned path and into a more authentic and truthful self. So let me know how you're feeling in these final days of Mercury retrograde, this last week to week and a half or so. Also, I'm sorry, this healing's coming out just like a few hours later than it normally is. I decided to, give myself that weekend of, rest, review, rejuvenate, rather than recording ahead of time and posting. So I appreciate your patience, guys. What else do we need to talk about? So we have a full moon that's coming up. That'll be on Saturday the 9th. If you're in the States, depending on where you are, it'll be early morning Saturday the 9th. And that's going to be in 17 degrees of Aquarius. And I feel like this is a really, really nice way to end Mercury retrograde. Because it'll just be going back stationary direct 2 days later. So whatever you've been focusing on releasing, whatever you've been working on, check out where 17 of Aquarius falls in your chart. That might be what has been coming up a lot during this retrograde season. If it is, wonderful. If it's not, maybe there's a few things we're working on simultaneously. The universe loves to do that for us as well. But it will never give us more than we can handle. I always trust that so deeply with my spiritual team. So yeah, check out where this full moon falls in your chart, and we can figure out a little bit more collaborative inspiration for what you're wanting to focus on releasing, what you're wanting to focus on maybe tying up loose ends on, so that when we come to the next new moon, which I got to tell you guys, I'm already feeling like the yumminess of it, which will be August 23rd, 0 degrees of Virgo. That's going to be quite the new beginning for a lot of people. And I feel it massively for the collective as well, just kind of a collective consciousness, new beginning. So let's really make this count, not to put tons and tons of pressure on ourselves or to, shame ourselves or to, it's like, don't go to the shadow just to go to the shadow, but let's make it count. What is really coming up that maybe we're ignoring, or we're in denial of, or we're bypassing, or we're like, oh, I'll get to that later. I'm way too busy. Life is too nuts, And in this next week, it's a really great time for us to fully shed and to fully integrate what the lessons are. So even if you feel like you know roughly what the lessons are that are coming up for you right now, and you're able to kind of like feel it in your mind's eye, write it down, make it real, make it tangible. I think that's going to be something that'll really help us shifting from kind of this Aquarius energy of the full moon and then into that more earthly, grounded, practical energy of Virgo in that new moon. It can really help us to feel like we're grounding these spiritual teachings into our human essence and into our 3D experience. So, yeah, if any of this is resonating with you, let me know what's going on. Let all of us know what's going on down in the comments. Let's pull some cards, shall we? I think that's all I have to say. Just so you know, there's timestamps down below for your convenience. 2 more for me. 2 more, please. 1 more for the collective. Thank you. All right. Very mysterious. They all flew out face down. I was like, oh, what is it? What is it? All right. Okay. Very cool. Very cool, guys. Feels like a lot of us are accepting the shedding, moving on out of it. Let's focus on what we're resisting. Yeah, we're going to get there. So first things first, we got the Magician. We have the 6 of Cups. Talk about old wounds, old childhood. We have the Devil. Bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This feels pretty yummy. This feels like the Virgo new moon to me, honestly, that's coming up. So focusing in on this week, and keep in mind, guys, and also those of you who are new, I didn't mention in the beginning, I also do healings for every new and full moon, for the solstices, equinoxes, and for every zodiac season. So check it out, because you're going to get a full moon healing just a few days after this. But we're really collectively just kind of focusing on this week. But I can feel that the full moon and the retrograde are really contributing factors. We are simultaneously right now releasing while creating. Simultaneously, we are bringing ourselves into a new way of being while also still holding the tail end of the old. And I think we're all in different phases of this. So before more messages come through, let's prep for Reiki. Have a seat, lie down, do what's most comfortable and safe for you. Take a deep breath into your body and really bring your awareness into just the presence of yourself. Just be with yourself, notice your sensations. And we're going to take a moment and thank the Reiki for all the healing that's about to take place for the collective, August 4th through the 10th. As I'm just connecting in with the collective energy, tuning into this, I'm feeling so many physical sensations already. And if you're new, that's a normal, kind of the strongest form of communication for me is the physical sensations. But right off the bat, I felt fear. I felt it in my low back. And then I felt almost kind of a nauseous feeling coming from kind of where the solar and the heart meet, moving up to the throat. It was all just very, very quick. And then after that movement, then I felt my sacral chakra starting to kind of expand. I even hear the word inflame. So we might be just kind of going through some extremes right now of like I said, we're holding two things at once. We're starting the new journey while also going, okay, I'm not going to completely cut that old journey off like a guillotine. I need to really integrate those lessons. And that's why I feel like we're at such a crucial kind of pivot point in the collective, but you're probably also feeling it on a really deep internal individual level as well, that we so badly want new and more peaceful and more passionate and more rejuvenated and refreshed, like a reset. But we can only find that, we can only experience that truly and authentically if we have fully integrated what we've learned from the past. So, what I feel with this is that instead of seeing it as really extreme actions or sensations or things like that, and I'm not saying if you've experienced like a sudden upsurge of, things coming out, absolutely, like that's fine. That wasn't necessarily your intention. It was because you were ready. But what I'm talking about is your conscious intentional action and behavior when you're going into this work. Think of it as, instead of like, what mountain can I climb today or what can I conquer today? Think, how can I hold these two things at the same time over the next month or so? And how can I hold those with grace and self-patience and trust and love, knowing that it might feel for the next few days, weeks, into a month possibly, or more for some of you. I don't know. Every day it's going to be a little bit of like a little tweak, and this tweak here, and this went down, and this went up, and this, rather than, I keep hearing and feeling the word conquering. It's almost about like dropping the warrior mentality. I don't know, maybe you know what that means more than me, because that's the word that's coming up. And as I'm saying it, guys, my sacral chakra is actually starting to feel like very tight and tense, and I'm almost feeling like little stabbing pains. And some of this might be really connected to the previous several weeks where burnout has come up as a theme. It might be that you're starting to feel a little bit of lightness, and then you kind of like went for it, and then it was like, whoa, too much, let's pull back. That's normal, and that's human, and that's life. I'm curious about this sacral chakra thing though, guys. It's like inflamed. Are we trying to force something within abundance, manifestation, creativity, sexuality, passion? If that's the case, it's about really coming back into trust and about coming back into our divine feminine. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of this, okay? So the devil is going to be us feeling as if we're maybe regressing, going back to whatever this, I really feel like a lot of us, it's a childhood wound, something as old as childhood. It doesn't have to be, but this is old. This is very old relationships, very old dynamics. This is also about tapping into our inner child. So there's something here that we're focusing on releasing this week and into this upcoming full moon that is really going to support us. And I feel like for a lot of us, it's already within our conscious state. Like we already know what it is, which is cool. And if you don't, that's fine too. That's also completely cool. A lot of the subconscious release stuff can just come in the form of all of a sudden an emotional release and we don't quite know why. Hey, let's be grateful that it's just coming out of us and that we can go, hey, if there's like a very conscious lesson lesson that I should learn from this, then just bring it forth to me and I'll do my best to, slow down and be mindful enough to receive it. But if nothing comes to play, just be grateful that it left your energetic body and that it's moving through. So yeah, this is interesting too, because Aquarius is also of the mind. So I do feel like there are a lot of like conscious epiphanies coming to play for you guys. Let me know if that's the case for you, or maybe for you, it's more kind of like a physical, energetic, emotional release happening, and you can't really put words to what's going on, which is also all of it's beautiful, all of it's wonderful. We just want things to move, right? It's just about movement versus resistance, or movement like flow versus stagnancy, right? That's all Reiki is, really. Okay, let's tap in with the chakras more, because man, I'm getting so many interesting sensations. One at a time, please. Yeah, well, the crown is definitely active. Like closing one door and opening another simultaneously. So you're in that limbo. I feel the throat. Yeah, a lot in terms of authentic truth coming out this week, guys. That's beautiful. Some solar, a whole lot of sacral. What is going on down there? Okay, I think I'd like to start with the throat and just to kind of focus in on what's happening here, because there's definitely more truth coming to light. There's definitely like new forms of creative expression or new forms of communication. And again, what a beautiful way to hone in on our communication in this Mercury retrograde, when communication can be so challenging, right? And things can be taken in the wrong way or said completely in a different way that you intended it, or, all sorts of things like that. So we might be doing a lot of that, but there's something about like a really deep truth. And I want to show this card when I say that, a really deep truth that's coming out for a lot of you that maybe you always knew, but you never fully admitted, or something like that. And by accepting this truth, your path will just kind of open naturally and show you the direction you're wanting to go. And if you already know the direction you're wanting to go, but you're feeling resistance, coming into the acceptance of this truth and maybe communicating this truth to those where it matters is going to make a massive difference for you in regards to whatever you're trying to accomplish right now, whatever you're trying to create right now, or alchemize, I'm hearing. Anything else with the throat? No, they're dropping me. Okay, hold on. Sorry, it's so fast. They were dropping me down to the sacral immediately. And then right when I went to go down to the sacral, the throat started talking again. And I was like, make up your mind. Okay, well, let's really hone in on the connection between these two chakras, right? Because creative expression was the phrase that I used before that came out. And I believe that there's something about our sacral chakra being able to fuel the way that we are communicating in the future. From here on out, I'm hearing. So, just going into the sacral chakra, generally speaking, we're talking about either our sense of abundance or scarcity and our views surrounding that, our sexuality, which is not just sex, it is an incredibly divine energy that we also just share with ourselves. It is sacred sexuality is creation in and of itself. So keep that in mind. And it also has to do with our spark and our inner child and our passions. It has to do with the things that light us up. So there's something about that, something maybe that really lights you up that you haven't had to experience yet, or maybe you pushed aside or sacrificed for something. And the truth that's coming up is, you know what, actually, I do want that. Or actually, that is meant for me. Mm. Mm. And I'm hearing it's not too late. Guys, I want to say I really personally resonate with the messages that are coming through with this. I feel like it's very collective right now. I can relate to many of these things that are coming up. So, in order for us to, the underarching energy is this grounded Queen of Pentacles. This is who we truly are. This is our true essence, right? And on the surface, in our conscious state, not that it's superficial, it's on the surface, we are juggling, right? The creation and the um, releasing, right? The creation and the destruction, if you will, if you want to put it that way. Destruction sounds kind of harsh, but it is, you know, destroying an old way of being. It is death and rebirth. It is, you know, the goddess Kali, the mother Durga. It is chaos theory, right? So this is profound. This is very deep. So let me know how this is feeling and how it's resonating for you in the comments, because this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And I, for those of you who've been following me for a while, you've heard me say when it feels very collective, right? It means we're not alone, guys. So even if all of our stories individually are a little bit different, we could all deeply resonate and relate with each other. It is the most beautiful thing how connected we are. It is so beautiful. I see this every day in my equilibrium community. It is so beautiful. So I just want to give you that reminder. You are not alone in this. You're not the only one going through this. There is nothing wrong with you, if that's something that you're concerned on. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now your heart chakra's opening as I say that. No need to put on the armor while you're continuing to release. And think of this as like a 2-step forward, 1 step back as well, guys. If you feel like you had a big epiphany and then maybe you're feeling a little lighter for the next couple days and you're like, cool, it's moving through. And then you have another day where like the feelings come back up again, you haven't regressed. It's just now it's another layer ready to shed and another layer because you're ready, Okay. So don't bypass the feelings. Don't go into toxic positivity or, put excuses on everything. And let me tell you too, I talk a lot about astrology, but I'm doing my best to talk about it in a collaborative nature rather than, oh, I'm acting this way because of this, and therefore it might excuse bad behavior. Or I'm acting this way because of this. Let me just get through this time and then I'll feel better. No, it's about how can we really work with the energies that are surrounding us and take responsibility and accountability for how we show up to collaborate with it. So, lecture over. That felt a little lectury, but I think you know what I mean. I'm a huge advocate for spiritual discernment and for knowing that things like these beautiful cards and like the beautiful astrology can help us on such deep and profound levels, but they are not fortune telling. You have to decide. You have to decide what resonates, what's going to spark you, what's going to not be yours, right? You have to really decide with that. And I think that's what's coming up, guys, with this authentic truth. It's really like taking charge of yourself, taking charge of your own journey. So, heck yeah, let's do it while we hold these two things at once. You get to take charge of your own journey. I just saw 2525, not one that I normally see. All right, let's take a final breath in together. Whew, there was so much going on there. Let's see. Do I want to focus on a certain color today? I want to focus on the orange of the sacral. Okay, you can do that with me as well, or you can focus on a white crystalline light, whatever works for you. Okay, we're going to take a big breath in together, and as we hold at the top, we'll feel that orange or white coming down through our crown, filling up our system. And we're going to try not to work too hard as we do this, but just be. Okay, so let's relax. Let the muscles really melt. Let's exhale, blow all the air out softly. Slow inhale in through the nose. Hold it at the top. Feel that orange or white crystalline light coming down, penetrating through the crown, filling up your body. See where it wants to go. See where it wants to stir up, where it wants to cleanse, purify, purge, and ignite. And just be with yourself as you hold the breath for a moment longer. Soften your body. Squeeze into any little areas softly that might feel like they're getting activated or released. Just be with them for a moment. Let's exhale, pushing out what doesn't serve us. Yeah, this feels like a simultaneous heat and cool, uh, like a burning up and then a washing away. You know what I mean? Like the purifying of fire and the cleansing of water. It kind of feels like that coming together. Which, I love this deck, as you guys know, but this Six of Cups is really showing me lots of detail today. And I'm just kind of noticing like the stream of and all the fish kind of like coming towards the tea party. And this like igniting sensation. I feel like this is very hermity back here, like a lot of introspection, a lot of like honing in on our inner child and really just, I don't know, holding ourselves by clearing and creating at the same time. That's really beautiful, guys. So let's lock your energy up nice and tight into your solar plexus chakra. We're never putting on armor or guarding. We're saying what's mine is mine and what does not serve me, kindly stay out. Okay? We're always having that choice of what we bring in and what we say, no, thank you. Lovingly, no, thank you. I know the past couple weeks we've had some things on like burnout showing reactive or defensive behavior, things like that. That might be the softening of this coming into play and just the reminder of, just sinking into loving yourself. And if you find that you're getting reactive or defensive, take some reprieve, retreat into yourself, give yourself some love. Relinquish any sort of external blame, relinquish any sort of victimhood or things like that. Yeah. And we're all in this together. Okay. So this is beautiful, guys. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope that you found this healing supportive. As I continue on my little, announcements, I'll just continue to give Reiki, but I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have a wonderful week. Really, really, hone in on yourself in these final days of Mercury retrograde and this upcoming full moon. You'll see my full moon video coming out soon. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out the Leo season healing or the summer solstice healings by the elements. You can check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs through those healings. And then lastly, you can check out all the work that I do in the link down below. Okay, guys? I wish you just the most beautiful week. Love you guys so much, and I will see you next time.